Hello, I'm Lydia, and you're listening to Lens from the Fens. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode for Lens from the Fens. I hope that everyone is still doing okay, you're all well. I assume quite a lot of you will be going back to work now, but I like to think that throughout this time you've managed to find a nice sort of place within nature. Either you've rediscovered nature near where you live, or you have been missing it for a while and you had the opportunity to go back out and enjoy it more. I think quite a lot of people I've heard of who I've chatted to have sort of rediscovered their own local patch or seeing more wildlife than they had before. So it's really nice to have discussions like that at the moment. So today, which is the 25th of August, I travelled to the Welney Wetland Centre, which is about an hour away from where I live, near Downham Market. I haven't been there for quite a number of years. I think I went with my grandparents when I was probably no more than 10 years old. And I remember bits of it. I don't remember an awful lot. I remember being in the main building upon arrival, where they have the really tall glass windows, really good for observing the wetlands surrounding the place. And then there was a bridge walk across the river, and that goes to the other hides, so that I remember, but I didn't remember much of the hides themselves or the main observatory. So when I arrived, it was windy and it had just rained. It stopped when I arrived, but the winds were still really strong, so I wasn't sure if I was going to get a good enough quality or if I'd have trouble using a microphone when it's wet outside. But I've got some really nice bits. It's quite varied. There's a couple of unexpected sightings, so I will leave that for when it comes around after this quick introduction. So I want to talk first about how the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust was first set up. The information I got is from their own website under the history page. So their founder was a Sir Peter Scott, who was the son of the Antarctic explorer Captain Scott, who allegedly in his dying letter urged Peter's mother to make the boy interested in natural history. So as Peter grew up, he became an Olympic sailing medalist and a well-known painter and broadcaster. And during that, he also created the IUCN Red List, which measures whether species are threatened or endangered. And he was also the founding chair of the WWF. And I didn't know this, but he even drew the famous panda logo. So he was really interested in wanting to preserve or provide conservation for wildlife, not just within the UK but globally. So he particularly loved the wild open marshes of Britain and also the geese that would visit from shores overseas. So he began as a wildfowler, and over time he learnt how to protect the birds, and most importantly, and then how to preserve the wetland habitats over time. So in 1964, he set up the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust at Slimbridge, and it became a centre for science and conservation to provide information to the public and also to give them access to nature so that anyone visiting can enjoy getting close to nature and also understanding the importance of conserving the natural wetland wildlife. So Peter Scott passed away in 1989, but since then WWT has grown ever greater. They welcome over 1 million visitors each year to their 9 wetland centres across the UK, and they just continue to do more research and provide more conservation projects around the world more than ever. So they have definitely exploded over time in terms of the work they do, the projects they set up. So yeah, they provide a really good basis in terms of wildlife charities and the lengths they go to in order to protect our natural environment and to make sure that those species that are becoming endangered have the most successful chance of continuing to breed and continuing to visit Britain's shores for decades to come. So after a quick introduction, I will now play the recordings I made while I was at the Welney Wetlands Centre. I hope that you enjoy listening to it, and I will speak again at the end of the recording, so enjoy. So I'm here at Welney Wetlands Centre. Excuse if I sound a bit muffled, I have got my mask on, because obviously it's mandatory whenever you're in an enclosed space. So I'm in the main observatory at the moment. I think the last time I came to Welney was I must have been before I was 10 years old. So it's been a while since I've been here. But coming through the main entrance and walking over the bridge, it brings back a few memories, which is really nice. I'm just looking through my scope at the minute because there's quite a bit of activity going on. It's mainly girls. Looks like there's a few feral pigeons there as well. I saw some tree sparrows on my way in over the bridge. There's a lot of swallows flying around out the front of the window, so a fair bit going on. There's an odd avocet. There's a shelduck here as well. Plenty of ducks, plenty of mallard. There's a few gadwall as well, so there's a fair bit to look out for. I'm just looking through my scope again. There's lots of greylag as well. All sleeping. So because quite a lot's just gone up now, so I've got a few in-flight shots of the ducks. So I think I'll stick around here for a bit, and then I'll let you know if anything comes up. But it's been very wet. It's a very wet day, very windy outside, so I don't know what the quality's going to be like if I head outdoors. But for now, I've got a fair amount to look out, and I'll see if I get any pictures. I might try and get some of the swallows flying by. So I'll let you know what happens. Oh, I gutted I paused that. 2 kingfishers just flew by, like right in front of the window. How amazing is that? The last time I saw 2 together was when I was in a hide a few years ago, and it was a male and female. And yeah, I was just looking out at the ducks, and yeah, 2 kingfishers just flew by. Oh, I'm gutted. My camera wasn't up, obviously. They were so quick, but wow, that was amazing. I'm thrilled with that. I could go home now. No, obviously not, but wow, just 2 of them flying together at the same time. It's just amazing. Right, I'm heading to the next hide now. Sorry if it's a bit windy and you can't hear me very well, but I was in the main observatory for about half an hour. The 2 kingfishers were amazing. That was definitely the highlight. But now I'm going to head to another hide. The gentleman on the desk said that it's one of his favourites. I think it's the Nelson Lyall hide and the Lyall hide. They have some good sightings there of waders and things like that. The only waders I've seen really is the avocet. It's just one of them. So I might have a better chance of seeing them further up here. So I'm at the Nelson Lyall hide now. All the windows are open, so the wind's coming in quite strong. So hopefully you can hear me. If not, I apologise. A lot of the summer visitors are still around. The sand martins, house martins, swallows are still here. Busy flying, catching all the airborne insects, which have just gone by now. There's a pair of carrion crow just out in front of me. Let's wait for the wind to go by. There's mute swans. There's a fair amount of ducks flying around. So there's still a variety. But in terms of like the smaller birds, I haven't heard many things like blackbirds and there's meant to be reed buntings here, but I haven't heard them, so it's more likely that they're taking cover from the wind. It's not raining. It still doesn't look like it's going to rain for a while. But the strength of the wind is a little bit annoying, but
I'll carry on, see what's here. If I see anything worth photographing, I'll of course let you know. Or if I don't get to photograph it, like the kingfishers, because they were just too quick. But yeah, I'll keep you updated. So I've been here for about 20 minutes now. I've got some nice pictures of a coot preening just in front of me. There was also a little grebe that was hunting nearby. A black-tailed godwitch just flown past, but there's some very ominous looking clouds. Looks like they're coming this way with rain, so I think my best bet, I'm probably going to head back to the main observatory, then at least I've got a bit more cover because all the windows are open in here, so I'm not going to be particularly well sheltered. So yeah, I'll head there now. And I'll see if maybe the black-tailed godwits were heading towards the main observatory, so I might be able to get a picture then. Oh, it looks like there's some lesser black-backed gulls as well. So, but yeah, there's like a sheet of what looks like rain coming this way, so I'll head back to the main observatory and I will probably stay there while the rain comes over. So I'm back at the main observatory centre. There was quite a few people in here, so I didn't record during that. But there's been some appearance of grey and yellow wagtails, which is nice. Swallows are still flying around. Quite a few grey lag come in as well, so I took some nice in-action shots of them flying into land. Kingfisher made an appearance again very briefly, but it's still nice to see. So I'll stay here for a bit longer. Oh, there's also been a mixture of rough, what appears to be a redshank, and also a green sandpiper, which is good. All a bit far away to me to get a photograph of, but I've noted it down as I always do. I write down my birds every day. And yeah, I'll just keep an eye out and see what comes into view. I've just got some nice shots of some swallows resting on a rope fence, which is really nice. And the yellow wagtails came in really close as well. So I've got some pictures of them too, which is nice. Today's been a good day for getting action shots. Lots of grey lag geese have been flying in and mallard. I've tried to get the swallows and the house martins, but that didn't really work. But yeah, it's been really nice here. The sun's coming out a bit more. There's plenty of grey lags around now, and I've been mostly photographing the yellow wagtails and all the grey lags flying in, so I've got variety, definitely. I may have seen a white throat, but I can't be sure on that. It was a very brief glimpse, but all I saw was a light brown body with a very white chest and neck. So it would be good if it was actually it, but I haven't seen it since, so I'm not holding myself to it actually be one of those. But otherwise, it's been really good here. So, as I said at the end of the clip, I really enjoyed my time there. I was there for about 3 hours in total. And yeah, I just loved every minute, even if it was very windy and raining at some points. It's definitely a place I'd love to go back to. One event that I'd really like to see later on this year is the arrival of the weeper swans. What happens is around Christmas time is the wardens or volunteers, they actually go out with a wheelbarrow full of food for the swans and ducks. So all the swans and everything, they come right up close to the front of the main observatory, and yeah, there's just a really nice close encounter with them. So if I get the chance, I will definitely be visiting that. I just want to talk quickly about what I would like to plan for the upcoming months now that it is definitely turning into more autumn weather. As I said, it's been a lot wetter than it has been in recent weeks, but it would be really nice to go out and photograph the deer rutting season. If you're not familiar with it, it is
an event that happens around, I think, end of September throughout October, where the stags of deer try to collect the does for their harems, for which they can mate and produce fawns for next year. And this involves intense fighting where they lock antlers and they push each other back and forth and they do bellowing. I've been there. I went to Richmond Park a couple of years ago, and to hear the red stags bellowing, it sends shivers, literally. Like just the amounts of power that they're showing off to each other and say, hey, here I am, like, come and take me on. Because obviously the younger stags, they want to take out the older senior stags, but more often than not, the senior stags have a better advantage and they have more experience, so they shove them off straight away. And the same again at a place called Holcombe Hall Estate, which is towards Norfolk. It was only fallow deer there, but then it was a really intense moment where there was two stags rutting against each other, and they were really quite close by. But I think I'll leave that. I might save that for another episode for more encounters. But yeah, hopefully I plan to travel to Bradgate Park, which is to the west of me. It's a place I haven't been to, but apparently they have both red deer and fallow deer. So it'll be interesting to get some more shots of that. Means I primarily photograph birds all the time. And another one leading off that, another mammal I would like to photograph again this year is the seals that visit the Norfolk coast to give birth to their pups. So again, this happens around the end of the year, October, November time, where the females will come on land and give birth to their young. So I, again, have seen it a couple of times, once or twice, definitely once, where I've seen the pups being born on land, and also the male seals who they like to stick to the shoreline, obviously not go on land when the females are giving birth, but when they're in the water, they're appearing to be powerful to the other males, just to warn them off, to say, hey, that's my female giving birth, stay back. So I've got some really good photos of that from previous years. But again, I'd just love to go and experience it all over again and hopefully get some more shots of them on land or in the water. So that's a couple of ideas I have in mind to do. I would love to, again, record it and obviously get pictures from it. But I'll let you know when they're definitely confirmed, because I could book it and then the weather could be shockingly bad, or I just won't have the time to go and do it myself. So I'll keep you updated on that. But otherwise, that's another episode for you. I've got another couple of sit-ins that I'll have in the pipeline. But otherwise, thank you again for listening. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Pinfold Photographic. My website is up now. I've got my blog link on there. It's some stories from last year, but I have stories that I want to upload very soon for this year. And yeah, just follow me, share this around if you can, and I will speak to you all again next time. Bye. My podcast cover shows my own image created using Canva. The theme music is provided by Purple Planet Music. Check out their royalty-free music at purple-planet.com.